Hey, everybody. Okay, so the training that we are going to be doing or have done on January 4th, if you were not here, I'm going to make a series of videos that I'm going to embed into the PowerPoint that I'm going to share with everybody. So that way, if you weren't there for the training, you can still see everything in action. So the first thing we've discussed, we had a couple of announcements. The first one was that do not forget that every student's password is going to change on January 9th from what they have now. Their new password is going to be our mascot plus their lunch number. So it will be Indians plus the lunch number. So for example, if my lunch number is 1234, I'm going to have Indians 1234. All of your trainings will have STIPD credit. Don't forget about that. And don't forget about the 10-time newsletter that I send out and the How Can I Help survey. That survey is going to document one-on-one trainings if you need them, or it's going to document what we need the most help with at our school. So, excuse me, I have the hiccups for some reason. The next thing that we talked about are the differences between a TIM, which is me, Sarah, and our tech contact, which is Amy Conville. So I kind of made a chart. It says what we fix. The TIMs, they fix software, which would be like Google, ClearTouch, software, apps. If you're having a problem with a software item on your computer, and password resets. So if your student needs their password reset, send them to me and I will reset it. But if it's urgent, like you need it immediately, go ahead and send them to me. If not, or I can just call me and I can do it over the phone. If not, just fill out the How Can I Help You survey and I'll fix it when I get to it. And that link is on the chart that I have in the New Year, New Technology slide presentation. The tech contact, what they fix all the hardware issues. So cords, computers, anything that's mechanical or electrical, that is their job. And normally, you need to reach out to the tech contact when they ask, how do I fix this? And Amy Conville's extension is on there. And then how to make a request. You have a cute little headphone icon that says IT support. You need to make sure you're filling out those tickets, those request tickets, so that, again, it's all about documentation and what we're having the most issues with. So let's get into the Google stuff. The first part of Google that we discussed were Google Forms, and you could use them for exit tickets, data collection, quizzes, etc. We're focusing mainly on quizzes and the scoring and how it scores it for you. So the first thing we want to do is we want to open up a new form, but we want to use the template window. The way we find the template window, go to the plus sign underneath the word drive in the left-hand corner. Click on more because Forms does not show up immediately. You'll see Google Forms at the top, and there's a little arrow that brings out another menu. Click on From a Template, okay? This will pop up the template window that shows you all the templates you can use. You can go through that anytime you choose when you feel like exploring. The next thing you need to do is click on the blank quiz icon. So blank quiz, it's a little briefcase looking thing with a check mark and it says blank quiz underneath it. And this will open up a new window with a blank quiz. Now, the thing with the quizzes is the first thing I always do every time I make a new form is you want to title your form. So change the title here. So I could change it to training quiz 1. A lot of the times it'll change it up here for you, but just make sure that your titles match in both places. Well, now it's not going to work out for me, and that's okay. Training quiz 1. Okay, so make sure that they match. What you are going to do next is we are going to explore the options that you have with quizzes. So the first thing I want to point out is the painter's wheel. So here you can customize the theme, you can choose an image, you can choose a color, all sorts of fun things that you can play with. Now, the next thing is the eyeball. We'll get to that later, but this is the preview option. So when you're done making your quiz, you can preview your quiz and see what the students will see when they take it. What I want you to do, though, is I want you to click on settings. You have 3 different types of settings. You have general, presentation, and quizzes. On the general settings, there are some things that you need to make sure are selected, especially for the upper grade levels. Number 1 is restricted to users in the Madison County school system and trusted domains. So only your students' login will work for these quizzes. Number 2 is limit to 1 response, especially in the upper grades. So if you don't want your student to be able to go back and edit and go back and fix or retake, then limit to 1 response, especially if it's a summative assessment. Respondents can edit after submitting. I don't ever click this on a quiz because personally, that leaves you open for cheating because a child can see their grades, go back in and fix the answers they missed. And it's not going to tell you much, if they can go back and fix it, okay? So I always make sure limit to 1 response is selected. Save that. Reopen settings. Okay, the next one we have are your presentation settings. So you can show the progress bar, which means question, like it'll be question 1 of 5 completed, so on and so forth. I don't ever show that. It shows all the questions. You can shuffle the question order. So that means that your students, if 2 students are sitting next to each other, they're not going to see the questions in the same order. And then your confirmation message. This says the default message is your response has been recorded. Normally I put like, congratulations, you finished. Okay, something, your certificate, or congratulations. If you completed this and made a grade of 90 or above, your certificate will be in your inbox soon. So you can change that message. So go ahead and hit save. Not yet. And then quizzes. Make sure that on the quizzes option, it says make this a quiz. You can tell when they are releasing this grade. So when they release the grade can be released immediately after each submission, especially if it's multiple choice or whatever, or later after manual review. If it's multiple choice, I normally do immediately after each submission. If there's a short answer question on a quiz, it'll be later after manual review. Scrolling down, they can see the missed questions, the correct answers, and the point values. So if you decide that you want to give them more than 1 chance on doing this, I would unclick missed questions and correct answers and just the point value. So they cannot see what questions they missed and what the correct answers are to those questions. And then they can go back and resubmit. So make sure you save all of your settings. The next thing we talked about is editing a question. Most Google Forms, they will give you a start question, a question that you can start. So type in your question and then it'll automatically change the type of question for you, and then you put in your answer options. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and restart where we finished.